Judging by your title, The Psychology of Money, it seems you claim to know everything about how people deal with money. Here is my straightforward question to you. Can you explain what mistakes people make when it comes to money and wealth? I chose this question because there is no shortage of content on how people can make more money, but no one talks about the secret psychological factors that lead people to make poor financial choices. Okay, after years of research, I have found two biggest mistakes people make with money that keeps them poor. Number one, you don't want money, you want respect. Spending money to show people how much money you have is the fastest way to become poor. People spend money on expensive stuff not because they need those things, but because they seek respect and admiration from other people. There is a very funny paradox here. People tend to want wealth to signal others that they should be liked and admired. But in reality, those other people often bypass admiring you. Not because they don't think wealth is admirable, but because they use your wealth as a benchmark for their own desires to be liked and admired. So instead of respect, they develop envy and jealousy towards you. I would advise people to be nicer and less flashy. No one is impressed with your possessions as much as you are. I once used to be a valet. I used to look at guests who came in driving Ferraris and Lamborghinis and think, God, I wish I had one of those. I never really cared who was driving it. You might think you want a fancy car or a nice watch, but what you probably want is respect and admiration, and you are more likely to gain those things through kindness and humility than by showing off your wealth. And the most important people in your life, people who love you, will respect you based on how you treat them, not based on how much more money you have. Yes. That is probably why in Eastern cultures, everyone has genuine respect for people like Gautam Buddha, who renounced his wealth to seek enlightenment and helped others through his wisdom and teachings, or Lao Tzu from China. At the top of my bookshelf, you will find a statue of Buddha. I really admire him a lot, and he had no wealth, no flashy things. He just had wisdom that has helped generations after generations. Anyway, coming back to you. What's the second mistake people make about money? The second mistake is not understanding what game you are playing. It has to do with your spending patterns, which are mostly socially driven. Being swayed by people playing a different game can also lead you to make poor financial decisions. So much consumer spending, particularly in developed countries, is socially driven, subtly influenced by people you admire, and done because you subtly want people to admire you. But while we can see how much money other people spend on cars, homes, clothes, and vacations, we don't get to see their goals, worries, and aspirations. A young lawyer aiming to be a partner at a prestigious law firm might need to maintain an appearance that a writer who can work in sweatpants have no need for. That lawyer is spending money on his lifestyle for getting a career boost. Writer, on the other hand, has nothing to gain from spending money on upgrading his lifestyle. It is a total waste. Keep this in mind before setting your expectations based on how other people spend money. They might be just playing a different game. Don't get persuaded by actions, behaviors, and spending patterns of people playing different games than you are. That's a quite thought-provoking perspective, man. I'm a creator. I can come to my little studio wearing casual clothes. I don't need to suit up for going to work, so no point in spending money on that. Exactly my point. Okay, that was about mistakes people make. But can you tell me what is the best way to use your money? The best use case? Sure, why not? Use it to buy time. Using your money to buy time and options has a lifestyle benefit few luxury goods can compete with. Money has the ability to give you control over your time. Not having control of your time leads to a disappointing, unhappy, and unfulfilled life. The ability to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want to, is the highest form of financial freedom. It doesn't mean you'll stop working. It just means you only do the work you like with people you like. So first we discussed why and how people make poor financial decisions. Then you taught me what is the best way to use money. Now comes the most important question that everyone wants answer to. How can I build generational wealth? How do I get rich? Start by understanding and acknowledging the power of time. It is the key to achieving long-term financial success. Take for example Warren Buffett. What do you think his secret is? More than 2,000 books are dedicated to how Warren Buffett built his fortune. Many of them are wonderful, but few pay enough attention to the simplest fact. Buffett's fortune is not due to just being a good investor, but being a good investor since he was literally a child. Right now, Warren Buffett's net worth is $108 billion. Of that, somewhere around $80 billion came in his mid-60s. Warren Buffett is a phenomenal investor, but you miss a key point if you attach all of his success to investing acumen. The real key to his success is that he's been a phenomenal investor for more than 70 years. If he had started investing in his 30s and retired in his 60s, few people would have ever heard of him. Here is a little thought experiment. Buffett began serious investing when he was 10 years old. By the time he was 30, he had a net worth of 1 million or 10 million adjusted for inflation. What if he was a normal person, spending his teens and 20s exploring the world and finding his passion, and by the age 30, his net worth was say $25,000. And let us say he still went on to earn the extraordinary annual investment returns that he's been able to generate, which is 22% annually. Then he quit investing and retired at age 60 to play golf and spend time with his grandkids. What would a rough estimate of his net worth would be today? Not 108 billion, just somewhere between 11.9 to 15 million, 99.9% less than his actual net worth. There is no doubt that he is a skillful investor, but his secret is time. You got to be patient. That's how compounding works. Yes, it does. We are reaching the end of our conversation here. One last question. Can you tell me one thing that no one knows about success? Here is the one thing that most people don't know about success. Some people are born into families that encourage education, others are against it. Some are born into flourishing economies encouraging of entrepreneurship, others are born into war and destitution. I want you to be successful and I want you to earn it. But realize that not all success is due to hard work and not all poverty is due to laziness. Keep this in mind when judging people, including yourself. Luck and risk are both the reality that every outcome in life is guided by forces other than individual effort. They both happen because the world is too complex to allow 100% of your actions to dictate 100% of your outcomes. They are driven by the same thing. You are one person in a game with 7 billion other people and infinite moving parts. The accidental impact of actions outside of your control can be more consequential than the ones you consciously take. So when you find success, be humble. You couldn't have achieved it without getting lucky to some extent. And if you fail, don't beat yourself up. Get up and keep working. Fortune favors the brave. Thanks for sharing your knowledge and wisdom. Back to my audience. Those interested in building generational wealth, listen to my episode on building multiple income streams. Are you a curious individual and a profound independent thinker seeking answers to vital questions about personal growth, business, and personal finance? Join me on this podcast and together we will discover secrets to making astronomical progress in life. On this podcast, I ask questions to the world's most influential books on finance, business, and personal growth and receive personalized guidance based on the knowledge and wisdom contained within their pages. Join me on this journey as we explore the magic of books that can speak.